Hello, everyone. It's a man of Manethrin here, and I just want to talk a little bit about this Kenobi trailer that we got a few days ago. It has had a very positive response from folks, and to be honest, I'm just one jaded individual. I was I began watching it, and that familiar Star Wars music started playing, and I immediately, instead of getting excited about it, I immediately thought, well, here we go again. And unfortunately, I think I'm right. I hope I'm not. I'm hoping this series is really good. But I haven't been interested in a Star Wars thing at all since The Last Jedi. I have not watched the movie, the last one, whatever that was called, something Skywalker. Um, I did not watch Boba. I did not watch Mandalorian. Um, okay, I may have watched Solo from a comedy point of perspective, um, but I wasn't really interested to watch it. It was more or less like a hate watch type of thing. And that's what Disney's done to Star Wars. Um, I wasn't a fan of the prequels when George Lucas did those. Um, after a few watches, I started catching things in there that I was just like, this is horrible. Um, and I felt even the fight scene between Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end of the Revenge of the Sith was way too choreographed, and then again way too long, because you go from one scene indoors to outdoors and then in a flowing lava river, and just anyway. But you come to this series in Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you've got one of my all-time favorite characters from the series. I thought that Obi-Wan was one of the redeeming characters from from the prequels. There wasn't much else for me outside of that. Ewan McGregor did justice to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I just enjoyed it, his performance. And so I thought, well, maybe, you know, he can get it back on track. And we got no words from him really outside of the beginning where like we lost. But then from then on out, it's almost like this is going to be a series that's focused on the Inquisitor's point of view hunting for him. And if that's the case, then you've got this female antagonist character, Inquisitor chick, who is going to be hunting for him. And let's watch out for the warning signs on this one, because that's a possible redemption arc that's could be way overplayed. Um, but you watch the trailer and everything still looks new, just like everything looked like it was new in Boba Fett, from what I hear. Same thing with Mandalorian. It's just like nothing looks terribly lived in a place that is not new. You shouldn't have new looking things. You should have things that are new that are made from old things type of feel to it. That's the kind of place tattooing is. And then you got these things that flash, the words that flash on the screen: between darkness and defeat, hope survives. And I thought, wow, that is just tripe. You know, the trailers for, I think, all the sequel movies had some words flash up that are meant to be somewhat inspiring, I guess. But when you think about the words between darkness and defeat, or death, whatever it was, hope survives. That means you're going from one to the next. Hope's there in the middle, but it ends up fruitless. That's what that phrase is saying. But they want to sit there and say, "Oh, but hope just is evergreen," you know, in the middle of all of it. And Gary from Neurotic had it right when I saw watched the video. Hope's not a plan. Hope, when you're, you know, lacking any uh, any capability to earn money to put food on the table for your family, hope doesn't put food on the table. Action does. Hope doesn't enable you to do anything in in this world, in in the world of Star Wars. So I've got a few points here that I'm concerned about with this series. First, Obi-Wan goes off-world, or at least it looks that way. And I'm fine with that as long as the only reason he goes off-world is to draw attention away from Tatooine from the Empire. That has to be the reason. If it's any other reason, it will, unless they pull it off somehow that I can't think of, which is within the realm of possibility. I don't have a very big brain. But if he goes off planet for any other reason, he's abandoning Luke. Period. You know, and that's what he's there for. Then we got this question about him fighting Vader, and boy, oh boy, I don't care what way you look at this, this breaks the canon. You can't solve it. When Vader approaches Obi-Wan in A New Hope, he says, quote, "The circle is complete. When I left you, I was the learner. Now I am the master." Now, I'm going to underline learner there because that implies he was still, I guess for all intents and purposes, Padawan when they fought. Now he's the master, which means in between, because it says when I last left you, they shouldn't meet in this series. Period. Not even remotely close to it. Vader has that one feeling even before they meet up. He's like, I sense something, a feeling that I haven't felt since, and then he walks off camera. He's calling back to, way back when they first, when they last met. So Obi-Wan fighting Vader would be canon breaking, um, and I just don't want to see it. You shouldn't have to keep on recycling Darth Vader in to get the feels going for the Star Wars fans out there. Get creative, develop characters on your own, and then also make the Inquisitor leader actually look like an evil dude rather than some dude that just got dressed off of a potato chip bender on the couch. Just saying. And the last question that I'm concerned about is Obi-Wan found? Do they find Obi-Wan Kenobi? You have that phrase in there, someone says, "Where is he?" Now, hopefully that's in a hunt for a different Jedi. And hopefully it's not used in regards to someone being on Tatooine. Because in doing that, Tatooine immediately becomes a target. Has to be. Because the question becomes, why was this Jedi, or why was this Kenobi guy, why was Obi-Wan on Tatooine? Because Obi-Wan doesn't do anything without a plan, doesn't do anything without putting some serious thought into it. It's not just going to be hiding. What was he doing? So there's my concern with the Obi-Wan Kenobi's series. It just, uh, it just doesn't work for me. The Empire cannot know about Tatooine in terms of having any concern for it other than it being some remote, distant planet. that they just happen to pass by when they're following the rebel ship to get the Death Star plans back. That's it. So I got real concerns about this. And there are a whole lot of other concerns that a lot of other people have mentioned that, you know, again, it's Disney operating the Star Wars. They were, it just, frustrating. So I don't know if I'm going to watch it. We'll see if there are future trailers out there that kind of intrigue me. But Kenobi's, Disney hasn't really done anything worthy of anything. I mean, the closest you can get is Rogue One, which I enjoyed Rogue One. Um, but again, Rogue One had to piggyback heavily off of what was already there when they started going off on their own tangents, much like Game of Thrones after season 4 or 5 or whatever it was. You start seeing some major holes in the capabilities of the writers involved. And I think we're going to have that here. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you think. Um, I just get real concerned with it that Star Wars is going to continue on this downward slide until, Lord willing, Disney sells it for a loss to some other company that wants to actually do it justice, and then come out and say, you know what, that Disney canon isn't canon anymore. Oh, may it ever be. Anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll definitely be keeping this on the tabs along with Lord of the Rings and Wheel of Time stuff. Appreciate you watching. Leave a comment below, and we'll check you later. Shagar, Nivran, Taishar Manetharin.